Hey, what's up guys, Riv here. So today we're going to be talking about the latest cancel culture campaign to be once again targeting the Vtuber Kirsche. Now, we talked about her about a year ago because at the time she was supposed to be a featured guest at a convention that me and my wife were also supposed to be featured guests at the time, but she was unfortunately let go from that convention because of her problematic opinions and her wrong think, or whatever you want to label it as. And seeing that, me and my wife looked at that and said, we don't want to be a part of anything like this, so we gave up our spots as featured guests in protest of what happened. Now let's fast forward to the latest life ruination campaign targeting Kirsche, where many individuals are trying to literally ruin her life. They're going after her sponsors and anything she is affiliated with because she is so problematic. Now, one partner that actually let her go, although unofficially, is Crime Boss Rocket City. This is a game that Kirsche has been a sort of unofficial ambassador for. She is the largest streamer to play this, arguably, and she has done a lot to promote this game. A lot of their success is in part to Kirsche, but due to these recent complaints, they have dropped her entirely, and look at the results. These are the Steam reviews for this game. They have completely fallen off a cliff, and rightfully so. You reap what you sow when you engage in this nonsense. Now, what's going on here? Well, there's been a long series of articles, viral tweets. It's been going on for about a month now, where people are trying to label Kirsche as a literal white supremacist or a literal Nazi. And this is just the most recent article on the situation, saying this from Sportskita. Vtuber Kirsche goes viral for seemingly defending Shiloh Hendrix's fundraiser after latter reportedly calls a child the N-word. So in their infinite wisdom, Sportskita makes this wild accusation while also providing a time-stamped clip of the stream in question where she supposedly defended someone saying the N-word to a child. Unfortunately for them, in their infinite wisdom, their own clip that they provide debunks everything they're saying. And we'll see it in just a second. But to give context before we watch it, especially for those who are not from the United States, two things are relevant to this clip. There was a situation where a black high school student stabbed a white high school student to death. There was then a fundraiser for the assailants of that situation, which raised hundreds of thousands of dollars. A few weeks later, there was this Shiloh Hendrix individual who called a child at a playground the N-word, and then people raised hundreds of thousands of dollars for her after she was doxxed and was trying to relocate her home. Now, in the clip we're going to watch, Kirsche identifies that these things did in fact happen, and then goes on to say that the latter, the whole N-word controversy, is not good. That's their proof. Let's watch the clip that supposedly shows that she is defending this woman.
How in the name of Baby Moses on Fire did we go from the loving society of the 90s to the fucking mess in 2025? That's some chutzpah. A lot of people are just like, unfollowed. That's an unfollow from me. Bostonian guy said, oh no, what am I going to do without followers that think it's okay to call a 5-year-old the N-word? I don't think most people think it's okay. I think there are a lot of people who are tired of things happening, like Daniel Penny, like the whole George Floyd incident and the Summer of Love, like the Carmelo Anthony. There's just a lot of people tired of the two-tier justice system, and they start saying some crazy things and doing some crazy things. That doesn't make it okay, but it's like, that's just kind of the consequence of where we're at now, unfortunately. And there are some people who are like accelerationists that are like, the pendulum is going to swing back so far it's going to break off. And I hope that's not true. I don't want to see that happening. I don't like seeing this kind of like violence towards other people. Like, not that words are violence, right? But there are people advocating for violence on both sides. And I don't like seeing that.
Again, to reiterate, Sportskita is accusing Kirsche of seemingly defending the latter fundraiser, and the clip they provide as the supposed proof does the exact opposite. It literally debunks their own claim. She looks at the objective reality that these two fundraisers do exist. They happened. She identifies that, and then later says that given the circumstances and everything going on with the two fundraisers and all of the controversy involving them, it doesn't make the latter okay. But Sportskita then says that is proof of her defending the fundraiser. It is incredibly dishonest. Honestly, at this point, they make Kotaku look like they deserve a Pulitzer Prize. This is a garbage headline. It is misleading and it is inflammatory. It is trying to paint Kirsche as something that she is not. They are putting words in her mouth that she clearly did not make in that clip. And a lot of people would react to this and run with it, and some people would criticize this article, including Asmongold. You can see this video where he reacted to this Sportskeeda article, and you can see the like-dislike ratio is like 99%. Now, if you went to Twitter, you would think this is a closed, shut case, that she's a white supremacist, that she's this awful, terrible person, because they read a headline from Sportskeeda and other viral tweets like that. But they don't question anything that's actually going on here. When you have people like Asmongold actually look at the clip in question that's supposed to defend this claim in the headline, it proves the exact opposite. So this is a very unfortunate situation where people are using articles like this to go after her sponsors and anything she's affiliated with. And unfortunately, that leads us to Crime Boss, which again, Kirsche was a sort of unofficial ambassador for. They weren't paying her to promote this game. She was just a very big fan and brought a lot of people to this game. And they owe her a lot. But you know what they did instead? They quietly dropped her. She has reported that they got rid of her. They've cut ties because of seemingly the recent controversies. There's no other reason they would do this now. And you can see the results. People are not happy. A lot of people who came to this game because of Kirsche are very dissatisfied. And they're showing that by leaving negative reviews. That's how they're providing their feedback for the situation, where they're seeing someone who boosted this game get dropped the second there's any heat applied to the situation, all the relevant parties. It is a very bad situation. Now, of course, you lose a lot of dedicated fans, but you gain some new ones, don't you? As pointed out here, good job capitulating to people that won't even buy your game, tagging Crime Boss. You can see this whole yap session, blah, 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 blah. This person says base game devs who stand on business by dropping an openly bigoted white supremacist VTuber from a sponsorship. And they say, oh, we're so interested in this game. Guess what? They don't own the game. They're saying all this, but they're not actually supporting the game, because that's what they do. That's what people on Twitter do. They talk about what they support, but they don't actually take any sort of action to do it. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the modern audience. Welcome to the modern audience. And developers watching this or hearing this, this is what you get. When you virtue signal, when you take sides in this cancel culture nonsense, this is what you get. You lose real support, but you gain virtue signaling like this. People who will not buy your game, they won't play your game, they'll talk about your game because it serves their agenda. Hello, local bank, I'd like to make a deposit. Well, not money in the traditional sense, but more of support via a Steam post. That's what you're getting with this sort of stuff. When you make claims and take a stand like this is what you get as a developer. But of course, a lot of people were talking about this. This is a post up here by the game. And I replied saying it's pathetic and this is my first and final impression of your game, because this is what you're doing. This is the first impression for me and a lot of people, and I think that's a fair thing to say. This was a very bad look for them, but you got pushback coming from many people. Like this person saying, Rev, do you ever reread your own posts and wonder what you're doing with your life, arguing with a random intern over a decision made by higher ups at a company that will never see your comments is kind of sad. So let me begin with this last part that is an objective lie. Kirsche would actually comment on this and say that the people at this company do read the comments on their account and they are seeing stuff like this.
Rev, do you ever reread your own posts and wonder what you're doing with your life? Arguing with a random intern over a decision made by higher ups at a company that will never see your comments is kind of sad. That guy's actually wrong. And because I was partnered with the company, I know that that guy is wrong. I know that they monitor their Twitter. I am aware of this. Yeah, the fucking question marks, dude. True.
So now that we have clarified that the higher ups are in fact reading these comments, this user provides an explanation of their qualifier here, where they say, because I'm a grown married man with a successful channel, a lot of fans, it's beneath me to talk about this stuff. And it's kind of sad that I would have an opinion on this. I think it's incredibly disingenuous to say I'm not allowed to talk about something that I care about, something that's relevant to my interests, because I'm married and I have a successful YouTube channel. That's ridiculous. It's a qualifier that these people are putting on so they will try to silence you. They will never hold other people they agree with to this same standard they're trying to apply to people they disagree with. And I also see tons of comments saying, oh, I thought people like Rev and Kirsche hated cancel culture, and here they are engaging in cancel culture. Well, what else would you do in this situation? So they put this qualifier on it. You can't even speak unless you have certain qualifications, like you can't be married, you can't have a successful YouTube channel, you can't talk about it, and also you can't leave negative reviews because that's cancel culture. What are you supposed to do to show your dissatisfaction with this situation? I'm genuinely asking, because at this point, they won't allow you to do anything, and instead they accuse you of engaging in cancel culture, which all these people saying this, they are proponents of cancel culture. They are accusing you of the same thing that they do themselves and the same thing they support themselves. This is reaping what you've sown. This is the consequences of your actions when you take a content creator who has supported your game more than anyone else and you dump them over clickbait shit articles and viral tweets made by terminally online losers. That's what you get. This is the reception you will receive. You will lose support. That is not cancel culture. That is what happens in this situation. They literally created this negative feedback loop for themselves. They put themselves in this situation, and now this game is paying the price for it. This is another reminder that you cannot win with a lot of these people who are trying to go against the grain here, people trying to argue with you over this stuff. They are incredibly dishonest. No matter how much patience you have for them, no matter how much grace you give them, no matter how much you try to see eye to eye, you try to compromise or negotiate on things, they will never do the same for you. Understand that. You are wasting your time if you're trying to have an honest conversation with proponents like this, okay? They will never give you any benefit of the doubt whatsoever. That is important to understand in these situations. But of course, there is an appropriate response. Two things, really. To ignore it, to laugh at it, or just move on. Or do all three. And that's exactly what Kirsche has been doing. She moved on. And look at her stream yesterday. She was streaming as all of this unfolded, and she made roughly $3,000 in super chat revenue in a single stream. That put her in the top 10 of all super chat earners in the world yesterday. The world. Not among VTubers, not among Americans, the world. That's how much things have backfired for the people in this cancellation campaign. She's going to do just fine. And the problem is the people who are trying so hard to cancel her, they just keep boosting her. They just keep making people even more loyal to her because they don't understand how any of this works. So recently I've been talking about iDubbbz a lot, and as you know, he discovered empathy at the ripe age of 32. And I think talking about him has kind of rubbed off on me. Like, I think I discovered empathy too. He's at like a 25% on the empathy meter. I'm at like a 10, maybe 12% on my empathy meter. So I can understand some perspective on where these people are coming from in terms of the people trying to cancel Kirsche, who are spending their entire day trying to ruin her life. I can walk a mile in their shoes. And I can also say, from dealing with people like this myself, I can confidently say the people who are at the helm of this, the people trying the hardest, they have absolutely nothing going on in their lives. How could they? When they wake up every day and spend 12 to 14 hours seething about a content creator they don't like, and in trying to get their sponsors to leave them, trying to get them deplatformed, all these things. They spend relentless amounts of time. They relentlessly tweet about people like Kirsche day and night. Kirsche is literally the rising sun and the setting sun of their lives. They have absolutely nothing else to do without her and their hatred of her. So I think it's understandable when they see tweets like this that they're very upset. They're genuinely upset because they have dedicated their lives to try and ruin people like Kirsche. And not only are they not having a significant impact, it's just making people support her even more. They are serving as free advertisement for people who are neutral in the situation. They're exposing more eyeballs to her content, and also it's making her fans rally behind her stronger than ever. Of course, the people trying to engage in the life ruination of Kirsche would be seething over posts like this. I think that's pretty obvious. and it's just a reminder of who you're dealing with. Now, there's another element here where for weeks, way before even the Sports Kita article, people are trying to go after one of her sponsors, and that is Gamer Subs. So they're trying to get her removed, and we've seen many very bold content creators virtue signal in the situation. You have another VTuber parting ways with Gamer Subs because they're affiliated with a person who's expressed openly bigoted views without facing consequences. Oh boy, I wonder what this anti-bigot thinks about white people. Are we even surprised? It's all a bunch of virtue signaling. It's a bunch of empty promises and slop. That's all it is. These people want to say that they're anti-bigots, and they act like the biggest bigots you will ever see. Now, I saw this, another person here going after Kirsche, tagging her on Twitter and making this jump scare of a video. I apologize in advance, but let's give this a listen.
Other people are going to use a bunch of big words and all that. I'm not too good at those essays. I'll say this. I'm so happy I'm me. I'm so happy I'm me. I'm more talented than you. I'm funnier. I look better. I have more of a future. It's always some dirty, disgusting, smelly, just lame, loser-ass bitch. They gotta come in and fuck the sandbox up for the rest of us. What? Bitch, get you. You know how happy I am to not be you? Like, I'm not even gonna tell you to. I would not tell you to kill yourself. Like, I want you to live to see how lame you become. What? Yeah, you gotta get the fuck out of Gamer Subs, though. I'm not gonna lie. Like, someone gotta do something about that. Because there's no way I'm doing what I'm doing, all this dope shit, in the same company that this bitch is in. Yeah, alright.
I kid you not, I spent a full minute scrolling through this guy's media tab to understand the crazy shit he be doing, and I didn't find anything. I don't even know what this guy does. I don't know if he's even a content creator. I'm just genuinely confused. All I know is that he should probably not read the comment section because he's getting absolutely roasted. This guy thinks he's like the authority on who can work with Gamer Subs. It's kind of crazy. And also we have this relevant clip here.
Ain't no way, dude. Like, fucking, I don't want to bend the knee to scum fucks. I don't want to give an inch to people who get gratification off of grandstanding and being moral busybodies. Fuck you. Fuck you. Some kind of weirdo drinking out of cups.
Amazing.
Ain't no way.
But yeah, that is pretty much the situation involving Kirsche. I'll put a link to her Twitter account. You can go check out her other socials if you so desire, but this whole situation is ridiculous. She deserves support on this. We're not going to let someone else fall to some stupid cancel culture campaign. Do not give these people an inch because they will take a mile. But that's going to do it for this video. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.